welcome to the new episode of We Talk Talent Series Season 4. I am Anmol and we have an incredibly insightful journey ahead of us today. We are here to ignite your passion for talent and HR as we unite the finest HR experts in the country. Together, we will embark on a thrilling journey through the ever-changing job landscape, exploring the exhilarating twists and turns in the talent demand and supply. Joining us today in this electrifying dialogue is Avneet Hora, an executive leader with a staggering 20 plus years of global experience in the field of human resources, delivery, and support functions. She has been instrumental in building and transforming organizations, and currently she holds the prestigious position of Senior Director of Human Resources and is a board member of Unisys India. She is a visionary who is leading the charge in HR digital transformation on a global scale. Her journey has taken her from being the global HR business partner for digital workplace services, the largest unit for Unisys Corporation, to the very top, where she is driving impactful change. Her impressive career also includes roles at HPE, ABN AMRO Bank NV, Bank of America, and PepsiCo restaurants. Today, we have the privilege of tapping into Avneet's wealth of knowledge, experience, and insights. Welcome, Avneet, to this talk.
Thank you, Anmol, and thanks for having me over.
Yeah. So, Avneet, as an experienced leader in HR, we would love to hear your insights on how your industry is tackling the changes that the workplace has gone through over the past couple of years. Could you share a brief overview with us?
Sure, thank you, and it's a very interesting question, Anmol, because indeed the industry has transformed itself, and every ever few years we get to reinvent ourselves. So from a hiring and retaining strategy that we've been looking at from an industry point of view, it's a multi-pronged approach that we take. It's not a one size fits all sort of an approach. And the way we would look at it is we first look at from a professional development point of view, what is it that we are offering to our associates, to our employees on an ongoing basis, so that the employees can upskill themselves and progress in their career, and really help them build their career, right? Then it's about holistic well-being, and that is definitely a priority, and we've seen that ever since the pandemic, and the entire focus really getting on a holistic well-being. So that's important as well, because unless a person is feeling good, your productivity, your engagement, the long-term commitments that we see get impacted by that. With the pandemic, I think the new ways of working has evolved. So we are looking at what are we doing for flexibility of our associates, whether it is offering hybrid and flexible hours. They can choose the days that they'd like to work, because all of these are now an important element of our hiring process. This was, pre-pandemic, this was not a question that I often got as part of my HR interview, of what is a work arrangement in your company look like. But now I think every discussion, really, this is a question that comes from either parties, right? That what is the work arrangement that works for the associate? Then there's this element of cultural alignment, right? How do we cultivate a positive workplace where people want to come to work? For the days that they are in office, what is it that really gets them there? And more so, how do we align that with the culture of the organization and that sense of ownership and belonging that people build with their workplace? There are a lot of programs that we've focused on, when it comes to diversity and inclusivity, because that is something that we need to do as part of widening of the talent pool. And the flexible work arrangements that we've, as the industry that has evolved in, has actually helped us tap into that wider talent pool. What also is important is how we build career paths for our associates, because it's not just about that one role. And as a company, in Unisys, we've always talked about, we want you to join us for building a career, right? So that's something I also see that and the industry is evolving, that how do we make them, it's not about your current role, but what next? And to continuously evolve, to build your career, your skill set, to be able to evolve with your career. And then at the end of the day, it's also about the technology that and the opportunity to learn and work on the emerging skills that we are providing our candidate pool or our employees. So holistically, we need to do all of these things in all, and handle or tackle all of the dimensions of making, a company attractive for an associate to join. And this is something we all learn from each other in the industry. So I guess it's an ever evolving process.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that insightful overview, Anita. Our audience will definitely find your perspective valuable. So, in this competitive landscape, Avneet, what type of skill shortage do you believe is causing the talent war? I mean, according to you and the demands of our industry.
So, from a skill shortage point of view, I think the emerging skills definitely we see is getting through. That's something that we are all looking for. That, and as company, as as experts in the industry, we are continuously, again, this is an opportunity for us to learn from each other. That how do we build a larger talent pool when it comes to AI, ML skills, whether it's blockchain, and now about quantum. Everybody's talking about quantum, but what we all, I think, collectively need to think about is how do we fix and enhance our supply into the industry, and which really then makes us go into, really go to our colleges and all the campus hiring that we do. How do we put all of these new emerging technologies and skill demand into the curriculum for the students, so that when they actually come into the market for a job, they do come with certain basic level of knowledge, which of course then as companies, we've got very robust, and as Unisys, we've got a very robust training engine, and platform to be able to help build their skills from there on. And that's something that we are doing to able to manage our demand and supply situation in the emerging skills area.
These are important points to consider. The skill gap is a topic that affects us all, actually.
Yeah.
So, Amnita, employer branding is a critical aspect of HR, and can you shed some lights on your employer branding strategy and how it has evolved over the past few years?
That's a very interesting and timely question you asked there, Anmol. So about a year back, we took Unisys really took about a rebranding, got onto a rebranding journey, and our brand strategy has helped us, really look at what the how the world perceives us externally. Through our brand story, we reimagined our status quo, and we really wanted to propel people and the organization forward. Our brand strategy really, or from a culture strategy point of view, we said that, and coming back really, our brand and culture are, really cohesive. You can't do one without doing the other, so you have to do both in tandem. So from while the marketing teams worked on the external brand strategy, from an HR organization as the leadership of the team of the organization, we started to look at how do we see our culture evolving through this new brand story that we wanted to deliver. How are our associates going to be part of this culture story? And it's not just about a tagline; it's really about how do we get this into our DNA for each and every associate of ours, each and every leader of us. So the winning culture is what we started. We put it together as our platform, and we said there were three key internal components to that. One was, of course, the rallying cry. This is our more emotional call, right, to action, to drive us to really win. Then we have a success statement, which is really about a statement that accurately and concisely defines our strategic objective for the Unisys culture. And lastly, it's about behaviors. What are the behaviors that are really core to our DNA? And that is what we see as being exhibited by our leadership, by our associates, day in and day out. Now, the four components of behavior that we really talk about is explore, where you're really tapping into your innate sense of curiosity and imagination, because that's when you really start to think differently. You start to think outside the box. You challenge yourself to build new skills. Then it's about experiment, where you reimagine the status quo, right? What is it? It's great right now, but what can be better, right? What is it that we can do differently to achieve success and to push ourselves and really bring about that winning culture, which is so integral to taking risks, taking experimenting with things. It's also important to act with agility, right? Because we may have some great ideas, but if we don't go fast enough, those ideas can very quickly become, of the past. So it is important to build that into our culture, where you really recognize what is the impact that you have on the business. You proactively identify opportunities, and you take an action which really makes a difference. Lastly, it's about taking ownership, right, where you really take accountability. You care about inclusivity, getting everybody's inputs in, and you're all working towards a higher purpose. It's not about me anymore, it's about we. As a team, we need to win, and that is what really cultivates trust and powers progress. So those are the four key behavioral areas of focus as part of our winning culture. And we are progressing very well. We're almost a year into this change, and it's a very exciting journey for us right now.
So it looks fascinating to see how employer branding has evolved in your industry, and it's clear that a strong employer brand can make a significant difference. In this ever-changing landscape, Avneet, how do you see the importance of soft skills evolving in the future?
Well, soft skills really are the core to the ever changing IT sector, right? This is one skill that doesn't go out of fashion ever. And especially so, in our IT environment where we are working in a global setup, we are talking to associates, our peers, our clients across the world, across different time zones, across different cultures. And soft skills plays a very, very important part, and really is core to all of our successful relationships that we carry at the workplace. It is from a leadership skills perspective. I think I would give soft skills the utmost importance, because it's also more emotional intelligence, right? And this is critical again when you are empathetic and you have a problem solving approach. But these skills also, as more research goes into this, it is an ever evolving field in itself. When we are hiring talent for the future, assessing soft skills is imperative. It becomes, because it is so critical to the success of any role, and more so now that we see, because adaptability, agility, as well as how quickly we can rebound, right? We can bounce back from difficult situations. It's all about soft skills. At Unisys, we've partnered with multiple universities that support our associates in developing essential soft skills. We've also, our Unisys University platform also has focused training content. It has books, it has videos that help our associate develop their soft skill and harness their soft skills. We also have other learning platforms which not only teach us about English, but it's also, we give the opportunity to our associates to learn 9 different other languages and understand about the cultures of different organizations. So there is a culture sensitivity that is integral to the soft skills. So I think in our environment, in our IT industry, this is one skill that is really paramount.
Indeed, soft skills are becoming increasingly valuable in modern workplace, and your insights on their evolving importance are really enlightening. You already give a brief about your diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it is a significant focus today. So, if you can show some more light on your D&I agenda and how it is being addressed in your organization.
Sure, thank you. I think DNI is something that is really core and integral to Unisys, and it is a bedrock of our organization. And our approach towards DNI is again multi-pronged. We start with firstly, doing mandatory DNI trainings for all of our employees and leaders, and something sometimes as apparent as unconscious bias, right? Because a lot of times you will not even know about these biases that we could carry. So it's important to address and acknowledge that there is a need for us to continuously, brush up these skills with our associates. So that's one. What we also do, with largely with our focus towards DNI, there is a DNI index survey that we do every year to gauge employee perceptions. Because while the organization might be doing multiple interventions, how these interventions really get perceived with our employees basis their personal experience is very, very important for us to know that we're on the right path. In last year's survey, 77% of our associates believed that they have equal opportunity, and 80% of them were very comfortable expressing themselves at work, which is a huge, it is better. These are scores that are better than industry benchmarks, and we're really proud of this. Yes, there is an opportunity always for us to do better, and we are on that journey to continuously do better on these. We also have a flagship program. It's called U Melange to boost diversity at a hiring stage. So almost 40% of our positions in India actually get filled by talented women professionals. And these are focus programs that we do. These are women hiring drives that we do so that we get the surge of profiles, the surge of resumes. And during these interventions, we also encourage women who've taken a break for whatever personal reason to come back and attend those interview options. As a matter of fact, the last UMelange program that we did, we had phenomenal reach on that, and we had many women associates come for that event as well as get selected through that event. There is also, from a global perspective, we also have a lot of focus beyond gender, which includes veteran hiring, UREG, LGBTQ. So there is something that, depending upon the organization's, reach at that point in time, there are other areas beyond gender diversity that also we are progressing towards. Globally, we are 33% of our workforce is, are women, and in fact, India is almost at 33%, and also women in leadership positions. 40% plus leadership positions are held by women across the entire spectrum, right? As a matter of fact, Unisys Global has got many industry awards for whether it is for women on board or from a US perspective, where Unisys is being looked at, Unisys has been recognized as a company of choice for women to work in. So there's a lot of focus. It is center, and core to our values that we have in Unisys.
Thank you, Avneet, for an insightful and engaging conversation. Your candor and eloquence have left a lasting impression on all of us. And for our viewers, let's continue to learn and grow together. And do not forget to tune in to the next episode of the We Talk Talent series. Have a fantastic day ahead. Thank you.